Hey guys, so today in this video I'm gonna be talking about being pregnant at such a young at 18. I know there's probably so many videos and stuff, but I'm gonna be talking about my experience and stuff. And I know that videos like this probably help people who's probably going to do the same thing later on in the future or probably right now and stuff like that. So that's the point of me doing this video. I'm gonna be talking about how I've come into terms with being pregnant, how I dealt with being pregnant, how I found out and stuff like that, and everybody's reaction to it and all and stuff. So if you guys would like to know how that goes, please continue watching. Let's get started. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Sarah, and like I said in the intro, I'm gonna be talking about how I found out I was pregnant and how I come into terms with it and all the yada yada yada. And I'm gonna try to make this video as short as I can. I'm gonna shorten up. I'm gonna give you guys like the sweet version of how I found out and stuff, the short version and stuff. Okay. So I found out I was pregnant April 4th. That is the magical number for me, April 4th. Why? Because that's the day I found out I was having my little bundle of joy. I am currently 7 months pregnant. I am 7 months and like 2-3 weeks. I know this week I turned 32 weeks. So yeah, I am 7 months, currently 32 weeks. I found out I was pregnant April 4th, and I found out with my best friend A. So I told my best friend, hey, let's hang out. I first was getting suspicions that something was wrong because I get nauseous before I get my period, like for like 2-3 days, but that for me is normal. So I was nauseous for like 3-4 days, and it's normal for me, so I never thought anything about it. But then the nausea just like went into I went from 3 to 4 days to being a week, and then from a week to 2.5 weeks. So I was like, okay, something's wrong. I've been nauseous for way too long and I haven't gotten my period. But then my period's irregular, so I wasn't really that freaked out, but I just wanted to go to the clinic and make sure. So I told my best friend, hey, before we go do what we gotta do, let's go to the clinic before they close, because the clinic was like 5 minutes away from her house. It was like walking distance. So she was like, okay, sure. She wanted to go to the clinic too, so we both went together. We just take the opportunity. So we went to the clinic. We do the little P-cup tests, all the usual testing they make you do when you're going to get a pregnancy test, or you're just gonna go to a clinic in general. And the clinic I went to is a walk-in clinic and stuff, and it's just for women, so it's good. There's no men there, there's none of that. It's just for women, and there's a lot of pregnant people there anyway. So we take the P-test and stuff, and we're waiting for the results, and we're just there and we're talking, and we're like, what is gonna happen if one of us comes out pregnant? And we're like, I don't know what the heck is gonna happen. Our parents, blah blah blah, the boyfriend, all this other stuff. So I get my results first. I go into the room and my heart is just like that, and I'm just like, oh my god. And then the inside of me, I'm like, you see how I am now? I'm calm. I'm just like, okay, everything's gonna be fine. But the inside, I was just like, holy fuck, what the fuck. And so I go in, I sit down, she closes the door, she sits down at her desk, and she goes, well, it's positive. So me being me and trying to deny the fact that positive is a complete yes for being pregnant, or a complete yes for anything, it's like, so it was like, okay, so I'm not pregnant. She was like, no, sweetheart, you are pregnant. And I was just like my breath was just taken away. I was just like, oh fuck. So then she tells me the due date. Funny story about the due date and why I went into even more shock after she told me the due date. Why? My birthday is December 5th. The baby's due date, December 7th. So it's just like, you're pregnant, holy fuck. The due date is December 7th.
What the fuck?
Because of the just simple fact out of the coincidence. And funny thing is, I've always tried to plan my pregnancy so that way it will end up in December. But mind you, I didn't plan on getting pregnant at all. And not yet. I didn't plan on it yet. And the one time I didn't plan on it, like, I mean, I never planned on getting pregnant, but I didn't plan on it at all. So it's just funny how I thought in the future when I do plan on getting pregnant, I want it to be in December, just like my birthday, just like me, have, you know, the same birthday month. Coincidence is his due date is 2 days after my birthday. So I was just like, what the fuck, I'm pregnant. I was just like, oh fuck, I'm pregnant. What the fuck? His due date is 2 days after my birthday. So I was just like, oh shit, fuck. Like, I was like, so many emotions. Like, I was scared. I was like, oh shit, I was worried. I was like, fuck was just running through my mind. So I'm just like, okay. I get out. I tell my best friend, I'm like, okay, so I'm pregnant. Like, I didn't even say anything. I just handed her the paper. She was like, what happened? And I just handed her the paper, and I was just like, here you go. And she reads the paper. She looks up at me, and she goes, what the fuck? And she's like, oh my gosh, that makes me nervous because, you know, we were both getting, like, you know, like, we wasn't getting symptoms, but we both missed our period, blah, blah, blah. So I was like, oh my god, what am I gonna do? So she goes in, she gets her test. She comes out in 2.5 seconds. Great for her. Why? I go, what happened? I'm not pregnant. I go, oh, good for you. And I was like, ah, shit, fuck. It's just me and this. Great. So I'm just like, okay, what the hell? So I was so shocked. I was like, I don't even want to. I was like, I don't want to do what we was going to do anymore. I'm too thin to want to go anywhere. So I'm like, I'm just going to go to best friend B's house, which is like 15 minutes away. I was like, okay. So I go to best friend B. I leave best friend A and go to best friend B's house. And I go to her house. And she was actually like, because I was telling her how I was feeling before, and she was like, you might be pregnant, you might be pregnant. I'm going to laugh if you're pregnant. I'm going to be like, I told you so if you're pregnant. She was all extra hype and excited. So I texted her on my way home. Before I even got to the clinic, I texted her I was on my way to the clinic. And then when I found out the results, I FaceTime her with best friend A while we're still waiting for best friend A's results, and be like, and I told her through FaceTime. And she was like, what the fuck? You're lying. I was like, no. I was like, I'm coming to your house. So I go to her house, and she's like,
show me the proof, show me the proof, show me the proof.
So I take out the paper, and I show her the proof. And she's like, holy shit. It's true. You are pregnant. I was like, oh, no. I was lying. Who the hell is going to lie about being pregnant? And she's like, okay, so what are you going to do? I was like, I'm not getting abortions because, you know, I don't like abortions. And I'm not doing adoptions. She already knows my situation about adoptions and stuff. I don't do that. It's not that I don't believe in it and I don't like it. I just wouldn't do it for myself. It's not the same thing with abortions. I just don't like it for myself. So she's like, okay, so what are you gonna do? I was like, I don't know. So I'm there at her house, and I call my boyfriend, and he's like, okay. So like, he's in DR. He had just went to DR like a week and a half ago. So a week and a half ago, before I found out I was pregnant, he goes to DR. So he's in DR, and I find that I'm pregnant. So I call him, and I'm like, I'm pregnant. He's like, what? You're lying. I was like, no, I'm not. First, I was being really sarcastic. I was like, yeah, I'm completely lying. Of course I'm gonna lie to you about this. He's like, oh, okay. So he's like, okay, you sure? I was like, yes, I'm sure. I have the proof. He's like, are you sure? Sure. I was like, I went to the doctors and everything. He's like, okay, I have to tell my mom. So his mom is there with him in DR. So he tells his mom over the phone, like we're both on the phone, and I hear him telling his mom, and his mom is like, what? That's a lie. She just wants you to come back from DR, blah blah blah. So I hang up the phone, and I call him through video chat, and he answers, and he's like, oh, my mom doesn't believe you. I'm like, I understood that. I can hear perfectly fine. I'm not deaf. And she was like, oh, she doesn't believe you. She wants to see proof if you really are pregnant. So I take out the paper, and I hold it in front of my phone, and I show it to her. And she's like, oh my God, that's a real doctor's paper. She doesn't read perfect English, so just the paper itself was good enough for her. She was like, oh my God, you're pregnant, what the fuck? She was saying it in Spanish, but she was like basically like, what the fuck? Holy shit. You guys should have been more careful. You guys should have been, you know, what all parents do. You guys should have been more careful. You guys should have used protection, blah, blah, blah. I was like, we used protection. I was on birth control. Just, you know, it just didn't work out. Apparently God wanted to give me a child. Give us a child. So she's like, okay, so you have to wait until we come back to, you know, to do everything, blah, blah, blah. So I'm like, okay, blah, blah, blah. And I hang up the phone with him. Like, we continue our conversation, and then I hang up the phone with him. And my best friend's like, what are you going to do? What are you going to tell your mom? When my best friend mentions my mom, my heart jumps out of my chest and then throws itself back at me. And I'm just like, holy fuck. I have to tell my mom. And I'm just like this, thinking to myself, my mother, the most strictest person that I know, I have to tell that I'm pregnant. The woman, I couldn't be like, Mom, can I have $1? Because I was too scared. So I have to tell this woman, my mother, I'm pregnant. So my head is just like fucking off the charts, off the rails, exploding within himself multiple times. And my best friend knows how strict my mom is, and my best friend's like, oh, you didn't think about that, did you now? And I'm just like, nope. She was like, either you get an abortion and don't tell her, or you keep the baby and you tell her, or you have an adoption but you still gotta have to tell her. And I was just like, oh fuck shit. So I'm just like, oh, okay. So I'm like by the time I found out I was pregnant, by the time I was done talking to my boyfriend, I had already made up in my mind, I'm keeping the baby. Regardless, I'm keeping this child. I don't like abortions, and I wouldn't do adoption, so the other option is only keeping this child. So I'm like, okay. I tell my best friend, I'm gonna put it on speaker, don't say a word, I want you to hear what she says. So I call my mom, and my heart is just like racing. And I say, hey Ma. She's like, hey, how you doing? But at the time I wasn't living with her and stuff, so I was like, hey, how you doing? Blah blah. She goes, fine. I'm like, I have something to tell you. She goes, oh, what is it? So I'm just like, oh, so yeah, I have something to tell you. She's like, okay, I heard you the first time, what is it? So I'm just like, once again,
so my
like, you know, the whole trying to stall process type thing. And I go, and she's like, can you just spit it out already? What is it that you're trying to tell me? And my best friend is just staring at me, and like, she shoves me and she mouths to me like, just say it already, and once you say it, you'll be done. You just gotta hear about her. The only thing you gotta worry about is her screaming at you, and that's it. So I'm just like, I roll my eyes, and I just like I roll my eyes, and then I'm just like this, and and I'm just like frozen for a second. She's like, hello, and then I answer, I'm like, Ma, I'm pregnant. So my mom was like, you're what? I'm like, yeah, I'm pregnant. She's like, what are you telling? Mind you, my mom is Spanish, so she's saying a lot of this stuff in Spanish. I'm just saying it in English so you guys understand. She's like, you're what? You telling me what? I'm like, yeah, I'm pregnant. So it just went silent. She was like, I can't believe this. And then at the time, she thought I was with my ex ex-boyfriend, and I wasn't with, like, I had moved out, lived with, and moved in with him. So I moved out my mom's house to live with my ex-boyfriend, and you know, that didn't work out. So my mom didn't know that we broke up, and then I moved out of his house. She didn't know that. And so she was like, so she never liked him. So she was like, oh, how could you like get pregnant by such an immature guy? How could you get pregnant by such a fool? I never liked him in the first place. You know, he's all respectful and stuff, but I just don't like how he is himself, like the way he carries himself and stuff, blah blah blah. I was so, at that point she's ranting about how much she doesn't like him and stuff like that, how he's irresponsible and he's, you know, immature. And while she's ranting, me and my best friend look at each other, and I'm just like I'm mouthing to her. I have my phone on mute, and I'm just like, fuck, how the hell am I supposed to tell her it's not that guy's kid, it's some other guy's? So she's like, so my best friend's like, my best friend just looked at me. She was just basically like, bitch, I can't help you there. I've never been in this situation before. So I tell my mom, like, Ma, calm down, Ma. And she's like, but how could you, blah, blah, blah. I was like, Ma, calm down. It's not his baby. So then at that point, my mom is speechless. So the only thing she tells me is, what? She was like, I can't believe this. You're telling me it's not his? I'm like, it's not his. She goes, so then whose baby is it? I'm like, so it's, you know, boyfriend B. It's his baby. It's, you know. She was like, but since when? I was like, since this day and this day. She was like, so you haven't been with this person since this day and this day? I was like, no. So she's like, so this whole time you've been thing? I was like, yeah, you know, we just like a whole little discussion about, you know, this whole time, blah blah blah. And she's like, oh, but she was like, okay, so we talk about this when you get to work tomorrow, because I work with my mom. And so she was like, we'll talk about this when you get to work tomorrow. I was like, okay. So she's like, so we hang up the phone, and I'm just like, oh shit, fuck, what the fuck. So then, you know, that was basically like my mom's reaction and stuff like that, and best friend's reaction. I also told my boy best friend's mom, who I was living with at the time, and she was like, this is a really big responsibility. You need to know what you're doing. She was like, if you're gonna keep this kid, you better make sure you can take care of this kid, because you know why? I'm not gonna have you, I don't want to have that one day this child comes to me and tells me, Mama, I'm hungry because my mother ain't feed me because she ain't have money, because she wasted her money on nails or whatever. She was like, if that child ever tells me something like that, I'm gonna pop you in the mouth. I was like, you know, that's never gonna happen. So she was like, oh, alright. So basically she was like, you know, giving me the real parent talk, like, you know, you gotta make sure you gotta do this and that. It's a big responsibility. It's not about yourself anymore, and all that jibber jabber. And I was like, I know, I understand, I know what's happening, I understand everything at this point. So as time progresses, and the father comes back like 2 or 3 months after I told him I was pregnant, because he was in DR. So he comes back, I move in with him and his mom, and things, before he even came back, things were a little rocky and stuff. So we was like, okay, maybe we could work it out when we're together in person. We could talk through this. It was like, the first few weeks was okay, but then, you know, it started getting rocky again, and it just wasn't working out and stuff. And we ended up, like, it wasn't that we weren't together, we didn't know what we were. It was super complicated. I am pregnant, we're living together, we don't know what we're doing, we're both young. He's a year younger than me, so he's gonna be 18 in November, I'm gonna be 19 in December. So it was just like, okay, it was, you know, it's both our first kid and stuff like that. We don't know what was happening. So I'm just like, okay, this can't be happening, blah blah blah. So we're just like having our ups and our downs. Like, we would have days where it was good, days where it was bad, like normal relationships, but it was just like, to a certain extent, it would be more bad days than good days. So things was getting, you know, rough and stuff. And then his mom wasn't any good to it neither, like she wasn't adding anything good to it neither and stuff. So, you know, but so I'm like, okay, it's time to leave his house, and I moved back in with my mom. As you can see, I'm back home with mama. And I'm just like, okay, me and him wasn't working out. So as probably noticed by now, me and him are not together. We don't live together no more. We don't talk to each other at all. He is irrelevant as fuck to this kid. As far as I know, he's irrelevant as fuck to me too. Guess the person I thought I was with or was falling in love with wasn't the person that he actually is. So I guess jumping into the relationship so quickly and then this happening all too fast just like took everything off course, and it just like ruined everything. And it's just like, okay, so it's like God does things for a reason. So I'm just like, okay, whatever. He's shitty. So I'm like, okay, whatever. He hasn't done anything so far for the child. So I've been doing this all on my own. Not all on my own, but you know, parent-wise, all on my own. I've had the support of my friends and family and stuff, mostly my family. So right now, I am living with my mom. As you can see, I got the crib set up right there. It's like, this little area. And I have his cart seat and stuff. I have a stroller. A lot of people actually gave me a lot of things. My mom has bought a lot of things. And I'm almost towards the end. The way I've dealt with this was, at first, I feel like anybody who finds out, like if you're not, preparing for a child and you're not ready yet, or especially when you're young, you're just like, holy fuck, I'm pregnant. The fuck am I gonna do? And then you decide you're gonna keep the child. You're just like, okay, I'm keeping it, but what the fuck is gonna happen from here on out? What's, it's gonna be like, you're just thinking about all the hard shit that you're gonna go through with the child and stuff. But then as time progresses, like I found out I was pregnant when I was already a month pregnant. So by my 3rd month, I was like, okay, I'm pregnant. I got, this is actually, happening and stuff. I had my first ultrasound in my 3rd month, like 2nd, almost 3rd month, probably like in the beginning of the 3rd month. I had my first ultrasound, and it's like, most people, I feel like for me, I didn't believe it was real until my first ultrasound. When I had my first ultrasound, that's when I was like, holy shit, this is not a joke. This is real. There's an actual person growing inside of me, and I'm staring at the screen, and I'm just like, holy fuck. There is my kid on the screen. He's inside of me. Oh my god. I am tearing up, and I don't know why. I'm not an emotional person. I'm just like, holy fuck, there's a person inside of me, and this is gonna be my kid, and this is gonna be the person that's gonna love me unconditionally, and I'm gonna love unconditionally. This is gonna be the person I raised to be a better person. And 4th month comes, I find out the gender. My mom comes with me to find out the gender. My mom at first, my mom was having suggestions, was like, everyone was like, I think it's gonna be a girl. It might be a girl because of the simple fact of the way my belly was shaped the first 3 months. My belly didn't start showing till like 3 months, and my belly was really little. Like, you can barely tell I had a belly at 2 months. Like, I'm still wearing crop tops and stuff, and halfway through 3 months is when I started to not wear them because I felt uncomfortable and stuff. So I was like, oh, if it's a girl, it's cute, could dress them up. I love to do makeup, so I was like, oh, I could teach her how to do makeup when she gets older, play with her hair, teach her this and that about her hair and all this stuff. So then, literally a week before my ultrasound, my mom was like, I think it's gonna be a boy. Everyone thought it was gonna be a girl except for my 3 best friends. All 3 of them was like, it's gonna be a boy, it's gonna be a boy. So then I'm like, alright, whatever. I think it's gonna be a girl. I wanted a girl, to be honest. And they're just like, so my belly changes, so it goes from like being all rounded out to like pointing out. So then they're just like, my mom was like, a week before my ultrasound, I think it's gonna be a boy, because of the simple fact that your belly has changed between like from in like 2 weeks, a week, your belly has changed so much and it's so different. I was like, don't tell me that it's gonna be a girl. So we're here in the ultrasound and we're waiting. Like, I was gonna do a gender reveal, but I know myself and I'm impatient as fuck. So I was like, fuck that, I'm just gonna find out right then and there. I'm in the ultrasound room, and it kind of took a while for the doctor to figure out if it was a boy or girl. But when she finally figures out, she goes, do you want to know the gender? Me and my mom both turn our heads and we're just like, yes. And when she says this, she goes, boy. My mom goes, ah, I told you. And I just look at my mom and I'm just like really? You gloating? And I'm just like, so I'm just like, okay, it's a boy. So I'm like, I wasn't like sad, but I was kind of like a little, oh, I wanted a girl. I wanted, to be really, I wanted to do girly things with the baby. But then I thought about it. I was like, but having a boy is probably way easier. Why? Because you don't gotta deal with vaginas. You don't gotta deal with periods. You don't gotta deal with the make sure you don't get pregnant talk and stuff like that. Basically what I've gone through, I don't gotta make sure that I do the same thing with my child and make sure that she don't go through it as bad as I did, because going through your period sucks. All of that sucks. So I'm just like, oh, the boys are probably gonna be easier stuff. They'll probably be assholes and pee on you more, but it'll probably be easier. So I'm just like, oh, okay. So I'm like, fine. It takes me like a week to come into terms that it's a boy. And I'm just like, okay. So now I have his name. I already had 2 names down for if it was a boy. I already had 2 names down. One for a boy, one for a girl. So I was like, okay. So then this is his name. So since I found out he was a boy, I started using his name. And I was like, okay, this is your name. This is your name. His first name and his middle name initials is AJ. His first name starts with the A. His middle name starts with the J. So it's AJ. So I was like, okay, this is your name. I'm like, okay. And your nickname, like a couple of days later, I'm like, oh my god, your nickname could be AJ. And I was like, okay, that's so cute. So I'm like, this is your name, this is your nickname, this is your middle name, this is your full name, this is everything. And I'm just like, okay, I got you, baby boy, I got you. So like literally 3 days later, my mom comes and she gives me clothes for the baby. I'm just like, oh, I didn't ask her to. She just comes and she buys me clothes. So I'm like, okay. So I'm just like, okay, this is real. It's a boy. Let's have this is it was like happening all way too fast. Like I felt like the summer, like I feel like just this pregnancy went by so fast. So I'm just like, okay, month 4 comes along and I'm getting more excited. I'm like, it's a boy. I'm getting excited. Then month 5, I'm like, oh my god, I'm halfway there. It's almost over. Then month 6, and I'm like, oh my god, I'm almost 7 months. And then now I'm here in month 7. I'm just like, holy shit, like wow, the way time has flew, and we're already almost here. Like we're towards the end, and I'm just like, holy shit. So I feel like overall my pregnancy so far has been the best. I have gotten nauseous here and there, and it has been annoying as fuck. I've only gotten nauseous 3-4 times out of these 7 months. Well, not 7 months. I got nauseous 3-4 times within the 2nd month. So from the 2nd month to the 7th month, I've gotten nauseous 3-4 times. So, which is not that bad compared to most people who get nauseous like every other day. So I'm just like, okay. But when I did get nauseous, it was no joke. Like I would have to sit down for 20 minutes and not do anything and just fan myself with cool air and drink a lot of water. And I'm a fat ass already, and I've become even more of a fat ass. But just experiencing and feeling somebody inside of me and knowing that there's a person growing inside of me is like, it's been this, I felt like it was surreal. And then it's been the most amazing experience of my life so far. And I'm just like, I'm so excited to hold him in my arms. And it's just like, I feel like I'm getting emotional right now. But it's not that I'm getting emotional. Like I probably am getting emotional, but it's just like, you go from being scared, shocked, and not knowing what to do the first month or two, the first 2-3 months, to being excited and patient, to being excited and like, oh my god, this is actually real. And then from that being like, oh my god, it's the last few months, holy shit, he's almost here, she is almost here. Preparing for the stuff gets even more excited. Like my sister built the crib for me the other day, and doing the crib was so exciting. Like I was like, she built it and stuff. I couldn't do it because obviously I'm pregnant, so she built it and stuff, and then the next day I like decorated it and stuff. It's like, it's so cute, and I'm so, you know, like I'm so excited and stuff. And I just like wake up in the morning and I see the crib and I'm just like, you're almost here, you're almost here. And then like now we're in October, and then it's like, what month are we, what day are we in? We're here. Okay, we're almost for the end of this month. We're almost at this month. This month is almost over. Bet. I'm just like super excited. Like, I feel like God does things for a reason. I might not have wanted this child now, but God gave me this child now for a reason. And it's been the best thing that has ever happened to me. I have full support from my family, from my mom, my dad, my sister, from my sister-in-law, my niece, my nephews, my 3 best friends. One of my best friends' family, who I was living with, has my full support. Like, they're so excited. Like, she's like, that's my grandchildren, okay? You're like my child. I adopted you without you even knowing. She's like, you're my child. I can't wait to meet my grandson. Blah blah blah. She tells people, oh, this is my daughter. I adopted her. She gave me my first grandchild. She's giving me my first grandchild. And I was like, oh, okay. And like, everyone's so excited to meet him. Like, both my best friends are so excited, but I feel like best friend B is extra excited. Like, my best friend B is a little bit extra protective, I feel. And it's just like, wow. Like, none of us actually thought that this was, I never thought this was gonna happen. Neither did my best friends. And when they found out it happened, they was like, fucking shit. But my best friends have been really great support. They've actually come to me to like a whole bunch of the appointments. Both of them, one of them came, they came to separate appointments on their own. Like, one came first, one came like, you know, to a different one. But when they both came to the appointment, they both recorded it. One of them cried, like she started tearing, and the other one was starting to tear, but she held back the tears. And I was like, you guys are such big babies. And they made me tear because I was like, what the fuck? Because like hearing the baby's heartbeat and stuff is like the cutest thing. But I have pictures of his ultrasound. I actually have his name, if you guys want to know. This is the picture. I don't know if you can see. And then that's his name. This is, you know, this is his head. And this is his little belly. And I have more. And then it's just like, this one was like the first one I got, and it was like super duper dramatic, so I just like stared at the picture nonstop. And it was this one, and I was just like, oh my god, he's actually in me and stuff like that. And I was like, fuck, there's an actual person in here. What am I supposed to do? And then I have another one where it shows his face, and to me it feels like he's smiling. This is when he's like a little bit bigger, and I feel like he's smiling at me, and like, I don't know, maybe he was smiling or whatever, but it looks like he's smiling, but you see his eye and stuff. Okay, so this is it. It looks like he's smiling, so I'm just like, huh, he's a weird kid already. But yeah, this is my little baby boy, Axel. Now you guys know his name. I don't feel like, I don't want to reveal it, but I ended up doing so anyways. But that's his name. But yeah, being pregnant has taught me a lot. It has showed me a lot. And I'm just so excited for my papas to come. And he's being a little hard-headed now. Like, he's, you know, moving a little bit too, like, it's not that he's moving too much, but the way he's moving now is a little bit painful. It's just because he's getting into precision so that he can just right out. but it's okay. I'll deal with the pain. And I'm just so excited to hold my baby boy, and I'm so excited to actually see his face and watch him cry for the first time and change his diaper and see him smile and go through all them stepping stones, all the milestones. And I'm just so excited to take pictures of him and actually see and hold him and love him and cherish him. But to be honest, being pregnant could be the scariest thing at the beginning, but then it ends up being the most wonderful thing ever. And then you're just like sad that it's almost over, but then you're also excited that it's almost over because of the simple fact that your baby is almost here. And I'm like so impatient. Like, I've grown so impatient right now. Like, I'm just like, ooh. And then I have an app, so every week the app tells me, you know, when it's a new week, and it tells me information about stuff. So I'm just like, yay, he's almost here. Like, every Friday I'm a new week, so every Friday I'm just like, ooh, I'm this many weeks. I'm just like, yay. And I'm just like, I think about my baby. When I wake up, before I go to bed, I take my pills that I'm supposed to take for him, and every day I'm just up, I'm just looking at him, playing with him, and, you know, just there with him. And I make sure he's okay, and I make sure he's moving and stuff, and I just love my baby boy. So yeah, that's my pregnancy experience, how I found out I was pregnant and stuff. If you guys would like to see more, I might do vlogs and stuff once the baby's born about being, you know, a mom and stuff. And if you would like to see that, then subscribe, hit that notification bell, and give this video a thumbs up. And comment down below what you would like to see on my channel, and if you guys would like to see vlogs about me and the baby once the baby's born. So yeah, thanks for watching, and have a great day.